for saving her from this very difficult
yes,
situation.
I was rescuing. I was the knight on shining armour. I think, along with many boys of my age, I had a lot of doubts. There was a gulf between what I think I was supposed to be as a man and what I actually felt inside. And here it was, a family ready-made for me, a situation in which I could be Mr. Good Person and Mr. Strong and Wise Person. There were lots of pluses for me in it. For her, she had security, relative security. The price she was paying in the first 18 months, 2 years of our marriage, was that when she tried to explore feelings and pains, the net result was that she'd get punished for it.
Because you were frightened by her exposure of feelings?
Everything. I mean, there's so much about it that really frightened me and confused me. I'm very ashamed. I mean, I felt very ashamed at that time. I mean, I can put it in context and say, well, yes, okay, I was 17 years old, 16, 17 years old, but I still feel a sense of shame that I...
Were you ever the victim of violence yourself?
No. At school I was.
Well, that's a...
At school I was bullied.
From
along
what
with
ages?
I think from the time I went to secondary school at age 11. I don't think I was bullied any more than perhaps other kids. I don't think I did any bullying, although I'm aware that I colluded, along with other boys, with the bullying of others, because if somebody else was getting it, that meant I wasn't getting it. I mean, I think school is quite a frightening time for many boys, and I certainly, when I'm exploring with the men who currently come to our centre, you know, their past, school time is the most terrifying time of their lives, where, you know, I think a punch hurts as much if you're a boy as if you're a girl. And yet we're somehow supposed to take it, and it almost seems to be encouraged by the teachers and others. But I didn't suffer any violence from my parents. As I say, my father died when I was quite young, but I can't remember him as being a violent man. I think my mother clouted me once or twice out of frustration herself, but I think they were probably 2 incidents in my entire childhood, and I was quite a trying child.
How do you understand the relationship between male aggression and male violence?
I'm not sure if there's such a thing as innate male aggression. I'm not sure.
Well, don't call it innate, but men's capacity to intimidate, if you like. Or to...
I think men have got a capacity to intimidate, but that's really the status we inherit, rather than something that's in us.
Well, what does it serve? Why do men need it?
It keeps us in control, or gives us the myth of feeling in control. It gives us a lot of power. If we're somehow able to fool ourselves, I think, and others, into believing that we are this strong, controlled, clever, together human being, and it is a con game, I think, for most men, well, then everybody believes it, and certainly there are a lot of prizes that go with getting the act right. There's entry to professions, there seems to be a better deal in education, there's not the assumptions that we're going to be married off and stay at home and look after the kids. And I mean, I know this is changing, but there's still, these are very deeply ingrained beliefs passed on, it seems, from...
But am I right in hearing that you think that men act like they're in control, when indeed they're feeling most out of control and most inadequate, that this aggression, whether it's physical or verbal, comes at those moments when men are feeling on the line?
Based on our limited experience with the men who are coming through the Everyman Centre, I'm fast coming to that conclusion.
Thank you, Neil Huggins. Tomorrow on Behind the Headlines, Jeffrey Archer and Tony Banks will be asking, should drugs be legalised? Goodbye.